Guys, Solidays today is doing $2.6 million per month in revenue. That's a $31.2 million run rate, up from a $15.6 million run rate a year ago. Alessandro believes they'll finish 2023 at a 60. That's $60 million run rate, but it wasn't all easy. He launched in 2010, pivoted to a subscription model in 2015, and then it took him 4 years to hit his first $1 million year. That was 2019. He just finished last year raising a Series B for about $100 million at around an $800 million valuation, is looking at making additional acquisitions and hopes to IPO in a couple of years once he breaks $200 million in revenue. Hey folks, my guest today is Alessandro Garcia. He's the founder of Solidays, the #1 HR tech for small and medium companies in Brazil. The company provides a basic holistic talent management software where you can attract, develop, and retain talent using people analytics, artificial intelligence, and behavioral management. Alessandro, you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, thanks to have me here. Thank you very much.
You bet. So just to be clear, you're not a traditional recruiter that takes 30% of first year salary. You're a fixed SaaS fee monthly, correct?
Yes, it is.
That's great. So tell us more about a customer that's using you today and how they use you.
Sure. We have almost 20,000 companies as subscribers, and they used to implement the HR process in the company. Regularly, the small and medium companies doesn't have the HR process already in the company. So we help to introduce the process of hiring talents, developing and retaining and engaging talent to increase productivity and reduce turnover costs.
And so, Alessandro, just to be clear, so you've got 20,000 paying customers today?
Yes, 20,000 paying customers, small and medium companies in Brazil.
That's amazing. And how many employees do those 20,000 companies manage via your platform?
Close to 2 million.
Wow, 2 million. Okay, so we could take 2 million employees divided by 20,000 customers. The average team size there is about 100. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay. Tell us more about the backstory here. When did you launch the company? What year?
Yeah, the company was launched in 2010, but we run a very traditional way of selling software at that time. It was a transactional sale. So in 2015, we dropped everything out and start the business again with a subscription, changed the way of doing marketing and sales. And since that, we started to count customer from 1 in 2015, and we triple, double, and almost double in the 50 year. We run 4 years Bootstrapped. In the 4th year, we got the investment from DGF.
So how much did you, so this would have been in 2019. How much did you raise in 2019?
It was close to $4 million. It's a very small round. We were able to not have a great dilution at that time, and it was enough to grow the company, to continue to grow the company to last year when we made a Series B.
And that Series B, I think, was for 103 million, right?
Yes, from Wabo Pincus, $100 million.
$100 million. And most folks in their series, most Series Bs last year, companies were selling, around 10% of the company. Were you in that same range?
A little more, because we are planning to the company very close to the IPO phase. So it make a lot of sense to us to go with this giant investor a little more far.
So 100 million raised at a little under, or sorry, you sold a little more than 10% of the company. That would mean your post-money value.
Yeah,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah. On the first round, you say, yes?
Yeah, so 100 million raised and your Series B last year, you sold a little more than 10% of the company, which would mean your post-money valuation was somewhere around like $800 million.
Exactly.
I see. Okay. And then take me back because I think did you do a Series A or like a $2 or $3 million round in 2019?
Yes. Close to $3 million to $4 million
Okay. So
on Series A.
the 3 million Series A in 2019, what valuation was that at? Do you remember?
Maybe 15 million dollars. I think that something like that.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here, and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview.
Well, then you are quite the enterprise value creator, going from a 15 million valuation to an $800 million valuation last year. Help us understand what drove the growth. What was your growth strategy in terms of getting new customers during those years?
The product itself is generating a lot of impact in the small and medium companies. So it make for us easy to get customers and generate results on that. Just to have an idea, in average, we save close to 700,000 reais. It's maybe $170,000 a year in savings on turnover costs, and the customers pay us close to $8,000 a year. So there's a lot of saving, and the argument to sell our software is very good. And today we don't have other players providing HR software for small and medium companies in Brazil. In US, you have Bamboo HR and other players, but here we are playing this game alone. So we have to explore this opportunity and run fast as we can.
So, Alessandro, did I hear you say the average customer today pays you $8,000 per year?
Yes.
So could we take, that would be $650 per month on average. If we multiply $650 times 20,000 customers, it puts you at about $13 million of ARR. Is that accurate?
It's less than that because there is 2 groups of software. When we talk about this reduction of the turnover costs, we are talking about the whole platform and we have a group of close to 10,000 customers using the scheduling point. It was from a company that we acquired last year called Tangerino. They deal with scheduling time and punch clock, electronic punch clock. It's like that. So there is two groups. In that group, we have the holistic platform. We save close to 700,000 reais, and they pay us $8,000 a year.
Well, I guess just to be clear, so monthly recurring revenue today across the entire company, you said it's
Yes.
about $1 million a month, or is it more?
More.
More. Okay, got it.
Yes.
So the average company that is not paying you $8,000 per year, they're paying you something
No.
much higher.
Yes, they pay less. Just to be clear, half those customers use the whole platform, and half of them use just a piece of the software to take care of the scheduling times.
No, I understand that, Alessandro.
pay.
But if you take, just because to keep it simple, the across your entire company, the average customer today pays you about how much per month?
Oh, let me check it.
Okay.
It was our ARPU is $130 a month.
Okay, so I'm doing some kind of math wrong. If you have 20,000 customers paying $130 per month, that means you're doing 2.6 million per month. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, that is correct. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're doing 2.6 million a month today, where were you exactly 1 year ago, so we can calculate growth rate?
I have done that. We grew 100% last year.
Oh, wow. How did you do that? Facebook ads, inside sales team, what was your go-to-market strategy there?
Using inbound marketing and inside sales, the whole process. And we have an HR portal where we can get a lot of HR professionals searching for content and how to deal with things. And we have also an academy where we provide courses in HR to help people in those small and medium companies to practice the HR in the companies and generate results. Because the companies, the HR professional doesn't have a lot of information, and they are very experienced in running HR. So we can help them and teach them how to do the HR, and we can introduce our software in this process.
That makes a lot of sense. So going back to the early days, do you remember what year you hit $1 million of ARR?
No, I don't. But it was 2 years ago, 2 years from now. Yeah, I think it's that.
So 2019?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So 2019, $1 million. Now, last year, 15.6 million. Today, you're at a $31.2 million run rate. The one question I've got for you, because you're unique, obviously, you're not based in the US, but in the US, a lot of employees that had options valued at last year's valuations are now underwater, right? Because valuations have come down. If you were doing 15.6 million last year, when you did a 800 million post-money valuation, that would put your multiple at a 51x, which today would seem very expensive. How do you manage employee morale if they feel like their options are underwater?
Today, we not have this problem, even with this lower of the multiples in valuations, because we grew a lot since from them. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to deal with this problem. We have a lot of problems, but not this.
Are you thinking about an IPO?
Yes, maybe in 3 years, we are trying to build a solid business to offer this in the public market.
And would you go public in Brazil or in the US or somewhere else?
We don't know. We don't know yet.
What do you think you have to hit from a revenue perspective in order to have a successful IPO?
In terms of size of the
Revenue.
business of the revenue, we expect close to 200 million dollars a year.
Yep, before you IPO.
Yeah, so I think we have a business. If we open the company in Brazil, we can do that a little less, maybe 150 could make sense for us.
Yep. And if you're doing a $31.2 million run rate today, we're recording this March 22nd, 2023. What do you think you'll finish at this year in terms of revenue?
Our expectation is to double again.
So you want to finish this year at a $60 million run rate?
Yes. 80% that will come from organic growth. And we are looking to inorganically too via M&A. But close to 20% of the growth will come from an M&A.
And Alessandro, how many folks are full-time today at your company?
700.
Wow. How many of them are engineers?
A little more than 200.
Okay. And tell me more about how you've structured your sales organization. How many people carry a quota?
Today we have maybe 150 salesperson. They are divided in teams. We have an expansion team, medium business team, and a small medium. And we are trying to VSB, a very small business. This thing is running very well, but I don't know why. Because those are company from 15 to 30 employees. So basically, the owner takes care of the managed people. So the churn is very good. 2.1 for a very small business, and
that's monthly or annually?
Monthly.
Okay, so 24% gross churn annually. But how much expansion do you have?
In this field, I don't have this information on the VSB.
Okay.
But in general, it's close to 5% in expansion. So 105% in the match revenue.
Well, so as a company, you've got 105% net dollar retention annually. But as a company, what's gross churn per year?
1.9
per year.
Sorry, 1.9 per month.
Okay, so 24% gross churn annually, which means you've got 30% expansion. So net revenue retention is 105%.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, those numbers work. That's very exciting.
Yeah, we have a lot of opportunity in growth from 105% to 130%. We are working on that. On this place, we have a lot of opportunities to explore.
As we wrap up here, you mentioned acquisitions. How do you think about what companies to go acquire?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Talking about companies that you want to go buy, acquisitions. How do you think about what companies that you could potentially go buy?
Awesome. We are we have opportunity on products that are very hard to build, and we would lose a lot of time if we expand to develop this software. So, and we also are looking to opportunities in cross-selling and between the companies. So it was very important for us in the next movement.
Very good. Well, Alessandro, we're out of time. Let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite book?
Now, I like every time I use the 48 laws of power.
That's a good one, Robert Greene. Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I'm trying to understand Parker from Ripley. He are doing an awesome job.
Parker Conrad. Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building Solidays?
I use every time Google Calendar.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
8 hours. I don't have much problem with that.
And Alessandro, what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
I'm married, 2 kids, 10 years and 15.
And how old are you?
45.
Last question. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20 years old?
In terms of business, to know the power of the subscription model. I think this is very interesting, and I could explore it better in my 20s.
Guys, Solidays today is doing $2.6 million per month in revenue. That's a $31.2 million run rate, up from a $15.6 million run rate a year ago. Alessandro believes they'll finish 2023 at a $60 million run rate, but it wasn't all easy. He launched in 2010, pivoted to a subscription model in 2015, and then it took him 4 years to hit his first $1 million year. That was 2019. He just finished last year raising a Series B for about $100 million at around an $800 million valuation, is looking at making additional acquisitions and hopes to IPO in a couple of years once he breaks $200 million in revenue. Alessandro, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much. It's nice to talk to you.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.